Hi, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a stocks to watch video. Today is January 24th, 2021. Before we get started, this video is for educational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security, and I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. Also, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe to my channel, and you can find me on Twitter at AlphaCharts365. All right, so let's start with the cues as we always do. Really, we are in a beautiful uptrend, nothing bearish at all about this. Maybe a little bit extended here from the moving averages, so may have a quick little touch or retest. You see we've touched the 23-day EMA multiple times already, and it is held on a closing basis. So I would expect if there's any pullback, that's the first area that I would expect, about 314, 34 or so. All right, so now we have 34 names to go over and 2 short squeeze ideas. And so we're going to go quickly, grab a pen and paper, write them down, and then make the trade your own if you like them. Some of these you have seen before because they are setting up. Like GOGO, I've talked about it before. It's taken a while for it to really set up. Well, it's now closing at all-time highs. So I think GOGO looks really good. Good volume coming in on a relative basis. So this one looks like it wants higher. Next up is Z. So Z is, it's a little bit loose in here, but it is trying to break out. If you can get above $48.30, then I think that you can manage risk against that level. Again, it's a high growth name, new IPO. Earnings season is close, so just be aware of when earnings dates are for these guys, and also if there's any lockup expiries, know when that is too for the newer IPOs. Next up is CHX. CHX had this nice little breakout, came back, kind of retested the breakout area, and now it's bounced hard and is trying to move higher. So I think it's a good risk reward scenario for CHX. Next up, SDGR. I was watching SDGR back in this area. I never took the trade. Came all the way back to test all-time highs. So the most bullish scenario would be a pullback to hit the 23-day EMA or get close to it, and then the breakout, right? Kind of a VCP or cup and handle, right about there. I think that will be the bullish scenario for here again. So I'd wait for a pullback and then the breakout. AHCO. So just a little flat base right here, and it is consolidating in a very tight range. And so the risk reward is pretty good. We got another month until earnings. So AHCO. JMIA. There's one I've been watching and never pulled the trigger on, and it was up 25% on Friday. Big move. So I would love to see this move sideways here. That's probably the best we can get out of this one is a sideways movement. Let these moving averages catch up. But I think this name, the accumulation is intense on this one. I think this one moves much, much higher. Next up is Crowdstrike, CRWD. So Crowdstrike, so we had this big move higher, and now we have this sideways consolidation. It has a cup and handle look to it. Again, lower volume on that consolidation. So Crowdstrike looks like it's just moving, perfectly. Actually, if it gets above 230, I think it could be a very good risk reward scenario. Its brother Zscaler is closing at all-time highs, which is always a good thing. Maybe a little bit extended from this, so I may need a little bit more time to chop around, but there's a very bullish look to the charts. JRWG, Grow Generation, newer. Is it newer than IPO? I guess not that new. But either way, moved higher out of this tight consolidation, and it's just trending. So any pullback to the 23-day EMA, I think, would be a potentially good place to make an entry. 1M, which is One Life Healthcare, broke out of this area, came back, kind of retested, moved much higher, and now it's consolidating in this range. If it continues to consolidate and lets these moving averages catch up, that would be the area. So nothing that I'd want to enter now. I own this one currently. I wouldn't enter here, but I would definitely watch it and see how it reacts now. MP, big up move, now it's sideways move, potential high tech flag. I think it was only about 25% pullback. Let's take a look. It's about 30% pullback. So maybe either way, it's a very good consolidation here, moving higher. 23-day EMA caught it on a closing basis. So I think this has potential to go much higher. Good accumulation going on there. EXAS. Broke out and now has moved sideways in a fairly tight range here, letting the moving averages catch up. So this one looks good. Really nice accumulation volume here, 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 and here. So that all looks good. EXAS, UPST, Upstart, brand new IPO. If it could get above 64.25, I think that's reasonable area. It is closing at all-time highs. We like that. Earnings isn't for a while. Looks pretty good. Upstart. Next up is Tenable. Again, know when your earnings are. This one's sooner. Had the big move up and now has kind of consolidated in a tight range. Looks good. Again, my earnings are soon, so you may want to see how it reacts to that. Guardant Health. This was a big area of, big important area right here. It kind of made a base on a base. Now it moved higher and it's consolidating in a fairly tight range up here. So I like how this is consolidating up here, just letting the moving averages catch up. Looks pretty good. Next up is Peloton. Cup and handle, and still a very valid pattern right here. And it's trying just to move higher. Looks good. Next up is DOCUSign. Again, DOCUSign had the big move, right? It moved from 85, and really, if you think about it, this gap right here, 54, and moved all the way up to 250-ish, consolidated sideways. Now it's trying to break out. This looks very bullish the way this is looking up here. So I think this ends up moving out of this consolidation and breaks out to the upside. Next up is Upwork. UPWK, big gap up and just stair-stepping higher. So far looks good. If I do VWAP from here, yeah, it's kind of like a handoff, right? So VWAP, then this is where this VWAP stopped being a big deal and then handed off to this VWAP. So I think that's a place where you can manage risk against. VLDR, kind of good, it's a SPAC, big cup and handle look to it. A little bit loose for my liking, to be honest, but it's not a bad pattern. And I like the risk reward against probably the 23-day EMA, so I keep it kind of tight on a closing basis. That's VLDR. Unity Software, again, another new IPO. Earnings in February, moved higher, then just chopped around sideways. Nothing wrong with that. You can either play the range, earnings coming up, so you may want to wait to see how it reacts to earnings. But it's Unity. GOCO, Go Health. So it kind of had this IPO and kind of failed how to make a base, and now it is starting to pinch over here, the VWAP pinch, which we like. And yeah, I mean, you could, this VWAP right here on a closing basis, you could use that as your guide potentially. And it's kind of pinching really nice right now. A breakout above this area and eventually $16 or so. Looks pretty good. That's COCO. HYFM. This thing is brand new IPO and has really just kind of gone almost straight up. Starting to see some tails at the top here, so we'll have to see how it reacts. So definitely I would wait for the breakout and not front run this one, but so far it looks like it's just kind of doing a consolidation before its next move higher. In mode, INMD. So this was an important area, came back, kind of tried to break out, maybe got ahead of itself a little bit. Would love to see a little choppy around here and then to move higher. Good volume coming in on accumulation style. ACCO. This one is, I'm sorry, ACCD. Can't read my own handwriting. Accolade Health. So this was the important area. We kind of came back, extended now from this. I would love to see one, maybe a little dip or VCP happen here. You make an inverse head and shoulders, and then the breakout. So this one, I don't think I would buy this here. I'd want to see us pull back on low volume and then break out. LPRO, this thing was a beast. It went, just straight up. And it broke out. Now it's kind of coming back on much lower volume, which we love. So this one, I think you can manage risk anywhere in here and use about 35 for your stop. Next up is CVAC. CureVac. New IPO, kind of went higher and then tested to 65, back up. So again, it's a little volatile, but it's holding very tightly in this area right here, which I like. And I would use the 23-day, as my stop on this one. Neo, everyone knows Neo. It kind of made this cup and handle. I don't think this is valid anymore. It broke out of that back downtrend line, but it has a cup and high handle look to it. I think if it breaks out, I think Neo could go much higher. I think above 64. I think it's you could manage risk very nicely against there. DoorDash has a cup and handle look to it right off the IPO. I don't know anything about valuations or anything like that, but I would probably say if I was going to buy this one and I don't own it, I would probably look for a break of this downtrend line. That would be, the area I look at if you believe in this company and think it goes higher. Next up is Net. Net has this inverse head and shoulders look to it. It doesn't need to make this right shoulder here. You can just kind of move sideways and then break out, kind of cup and handle style. Whatever you want to call it, however you want to look, the uptrend is obviously very strong, and I think this eventually will break out. You may want to wait for that breakout, above 87-ish, but that's Net. Chewy, again, strong prior uptrend, kind of making this little cup and handle, just consolidating on low volume, coming back. This looks really good. Again, about the 100 level, it seems like a reasonable place to manage risk against. KE Holdings reminds me of like that go-go chart a little bit, where it's a big uptrend and reasonably tight consolidation, and now trying to break out. If it gets above 77, then it's maybe worth a try for a long on this with a stop below this green area. Palantir, big up, consolidating this flag, huge 25% move. So now it's literally just gotten back to its all-time highs, right, intraday. So the way I look at this, if I was in place, is I'd want to see a pullback here and let these moving averages catch up after such a big move. But I think this is a very actionable chart if we do get a low volume pullback. Earnings are coming up too in February, so it's a little bit close to earnings. We'll see what happens with that. Shift for payments kind of moved up. Now it's moving sideways in a fairly tight range. Looks pretty good. Prior trend is higher. Nice accumulation volume in there. Globus Medical. See, it broke out of this really important area and now has kind of moved sideways, letting all the moving averages kind of catch up. And now, yeah. So I would, you could, depending on your risk tolerance, you can use one of the moving averages or even the prior breakout. Next up is Amazon, right? So Amazon reminds me a lot of PALTR. And that was near all-time highs. The earnings are next week. And just going to a weekly chart, you can see how every January through June, it tends to do well seasonally. So we may be seeing the start of that move higher for this on a seasonal basis. But that's Amazon starting to move higher, earning soon. So decide whether it's right for you or not. And my two short squeeze ideas, that was 34 names, OTRK. Again, very similar to that, to these charts where you see a big uptrend, fairly tight consolidation. This can move above 83, I'll call 50, 83.50 or so. I think even 82. I think this could be a nice long that you can manage risk against. And the other one is Arch Resources. I like this chart actually a lot better because it's kind of chilling out up here, going back and forth. Big base here. This one looks great. Nice accumulation volume. Yeah, this is the one that I really like. Looks great. All right, there you go. 34 regular names, 2 potential short squeeze ideas, 16 minutes. Not bad. Good luck, everybody. Again, please like and subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate it. Hope you all have a great week. Good luck. Know your earnings dates. Take care.